So, this is Arda. Hello. I came from all the way from Istanbul to here with my colleague Çağdaş. You can call him Chat. He's right over there. I'm going to talk about how the local multiplayer thing works in Turkey. So, back in the time when there were no digital entertainment devices, people used to play in physical environments, physical medium. So it was like that way back in the time. People had fun, like coming together and playing with the physical components and having talks and touching each other with the physical elements. It was like that, and in Turkey there is a game called Okey and also Backgammon, Tavla, and these games are quite popular. It has been quite popular for decades or centuries because those games have something that the like old men and students and teachers and kids and guys and girls want to play together because those games can be played with the people, with the local people, and you can talk while you're playing the game. So people like it. I don't know why, but this is the most popular game in Turkey. So this physical game was carried on to our age now, and there is a company in Turkey named Peak Games, which I also worked for. They developed OK Plus and the games like Backgammon, and this is the way more popular games, mobile game than the other games, because they have the elements which the actual game has, like sending a tea to your friend, like having a talk in a private chat room and stuff. So they tapped on the elements of these games, and they are quite successful now. And in the year 80s, the Atari Saloons, which we call Atari Saloons, but actually they are arcade saloons, went really big in Turkey. People were like lost in the caves of these Atari Saloons, and people really liked them. And after that, I couldn't catch the Atari era, but on 90s and early 2000s, I was also a fan of the internet cafe thing. We were coming together with my friends, playing StarCraft, Warcraft, and Counter-Strike like kind of games. And it was fun to like shout at your friends. If you can't shoot them, just tap on his shoulder and say something. And after that, it turned into a Guitar Hero thing. This is also a phenomenon in Turkey. There are cafes specially dedicated to Guitar Heroes, which you can come up with your friends and play drums and sing and shout as hell. And after that, recently, it has turned into this. There are almost 50 room escape games in Istanbul. You know these kind of games where you can come up with your friends also, and you have 1 hour, you have to solve some clues, you need to get out of the room, there are some puzzles and stuff. This is really exploding right now. And there is a common pattern between these kind of phenomena or these kind of gaming mediums, and we wanted to explore more about this. We study at Bahçeşehir University in Istanbul, we study game design master's program, and this program is like a hub for indie developers and all kind of development stuff. And during the classes, we were assigned a term project. We wanted to explore the local multiplayer games. What kind of games do people play? What kind of elements do the games have in common? And we wanted to also do something about the local scene of Istanbul. We wanted to explore why people are into it and how we can engage people into social local multiplayer games. And we wanted to organize some events about gaming and game jam. And at the end of the semester, we developed a game. So there is a pub in Istanbul named Komodor. It was opened last December, and it was a really big thing for us. I mean, the pub is especially dedicated to games and game culture. And you can see the people coming and playing Hearthstone together. There were some board game sessions, some meetings, and also while playing you can also have some drinks and chat with your friends. So it was like the internet cafe turned into an adult thing. So that cafe was opened and we wanted to organize some events on there. We came up with the idea of let's just make some organization, make some events where we can come up, where we can meet with our fellow developer friends and play some local multiplayer games so that we can have their feedbacks on the games that are on Steam or somewhere, and we can adapt our game design into those kind of games. So it was really nice to organize those kind of events. I mean, there was a projector like this, and there were 4 seats in front. People were having the controllers and playing the game, and the other people were waiting for their turn, and they were drinking and having chat, and also they were the audience actually. They were cheering up for the winning team or something. It went really good. So what did we learn from this Commodore experience? We learned that people like to play competitive games more than the cooperative games. Games like Nidhogg and Samurai Gun and the other sports friends kind of games really are engaging people into this, because they didn't have the build-up mechanics. I mean, games like the games that have build-up mechanics didn't engage people as much as the other games do, because these kind of games need more attention. We wanted the people to come up on the stage to have the controller and know nothing about the previous state of the game and just tap into the game and enjoy the game from where it was going on. I mean, like leveling up and choosing equipment and choosing perks kind of games didn't work for people. And also the audience mattered, because on the stage people were playing and the other people were enjoying the game, and sometimes they did not. So we wanted to tap on this thing on our game. We wanted to engage the people, or the actual audience, into the game as some kind of a player kind of thing. And that event worked for the indie developers. This event, one of the Oyunbazlar Komodor'da event, took place after 1 week from the Global Game Jam. And people had the opportunity to showcase their game. And after that, this is a valuable lesson that we learned. Gamers don't have money, but party people do. That Commodore pub turned into a nightclub afterwards. And people like these kind of enjoyable party people went into the place, and we were out of the place. So we developed Schlag. It's a fast-paced rolling game where you can slap your friends with a wet towel in a Turkish bath. You can play our game over there. And after that, we organized the Game Jam, the first local multiplayer Game Jam Istanbul. That was just last week, before we came here. And the reason why we made this was that we wanted to finish Schlag, because we couldn't manage to work remotely. So this is a local multiplayer thing that we are making, and let's meet locally so that we can make the game alongside with the other developers. So it went really great. 5 games were produced with 15 people, I guess. You can check the link if you want to play the games. And these kind of things, the organizations and some stuff, had the impact on our local indie scene. So a friend just called me and said, dude, which controller to buy, Xbox 360 or Xbox One? And yeah, it made an impact on him that he wanted to make games about this, with the controllers. And people still ask me about when is the next Commodore event, but I say, unfortunately, we're not allowed in that place, so we don't pay for the stuff. And the other thing is, I'm working on this local multiplayer game. When I check it, some developer friends are into the local multiplayer thing actually right now. And this is kind of really good thing for us to have the impact on people like that. So